The people who keep disappointing you are not the problem. Your willingness to keep accepting it is. You have done it again. A different person this time, but the same story. Someone who takes more than they give. Someone who disappears when things get hard. Someone who is charming at the start and corrosive over time. And you are standing in the familiar place of realizing that you made the same mistake again and wondering what is wrong with people. Nothing is wrong with people. The question worth asking is, what is the constant in every one of these situations? The answer is you. That is not an accusation. It is a diagnosis. And a diagnosis is useful because it points towards something you can actually change. The pattern of attracting the wrong people is not bad luck, and it is not a coincidence of circumstance. It is a signal from your own psychology about what you have decided, somewhere below the level of conscious thought, that you are worth. The Stoics understood that the external world reflects internal states in ways that are not always obvious. Epictetus taught that what disturbs men is not events but their judgments about events. The judgment underneath the pattern of bad relationships is almost always some version of this: I do not fully believe I deserve better. And because that belief is uncomfortable to examine, most men bury it under explanations about other people. Here is how it works in practice. When a person with low self-worth meets someone who treats them well, there is often a subtle discomfort. Not excitement. Discomfort. The good treatment does not match the internal model of what they expect and what they feel they warrant. So they find reasons to pull back, to sabotage, to move toward people who confirm the model instead. People who are inconsistent, unreliable, emotionally unavailable. People who make them work for it. Because working for approval is familiar, and familiar feels like home even when home was never safe. Meanwhile, the people who drain them, who use them, who disappear and reappear, who treat their time and attention as resources to be extracted, those people feel magnetic. Not because they are better. Because the dynamic they create confirms something the man already believes about himself. That he has to earn his place. That love or respect or connection is something to be chased, not something he simply has access to. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the discipline of examining your own character rather than judging the character of others. Most men spend enormous energy analyzing what is wrong with the people who hurt them. Very little energy examining what in themselves allowed the dynamic to continue long after the warning signs appeared. Because the warning signs always appear early. And the man who kept the wrong person in his life usually saw them. He just decided, for reasons worth examining, that they did not apply to him. Tolerance is not a virtue when what you are tolerating is the erosion of your own standards. There is a version of patience that is genuinely admirable, the kind that holds steady through difficulty towards something worth building. And there is a version that is just a refusal to enforce what you believe you deserve because enforcing it requires the risk of loss. The second version is not patience. It is fear wearing the mask of open-mindedness. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The imagined loss of a person who is not good for you almost always feels worse than the actual loss. And after the loss, when the space clears, most men find that what they were afraid of losing was not the person but the familiarity. The structure, however damaging, that the relationship provided. The known discomfort of staying felt safer than the unknown discomfort of leaving. The Stoic path here begins with an honest inventory. Not of the people who have disappointed you but of what you allowed and why. Where did you see something concerning and explain it away? Where did you lower a standard because lowering it felt easier than holding it? Where did you accept less than you would advise a man you respected to accept? And then the harder question, what does accepting that say about what you believe you are worth? This is not self-punishment. It is self-knowledge. The Stoics prized self-knowledge above almost every other discipline because without it you are operating on assumptions you have never examined, many of which were installed in you before you were old enough to question them. When you raise what you will accept, two things happen. Some people leave. The ones whose access to you depended on your willingness to tolerate what you should not have been tolerating. And other people arrive. Not because you became luckier. Because you became clearer. Because something in how you carry yourself changed when you stopped negotiating your own worth downward in every interaction. The wrong people did not find you by accident. They found you because something in your posture, your tolerance, your willingness to absorb what you should have rejected, made it easy. Change those things and you change who has access. Not through force. Through the quiet, firm act of finally deciding what you actually deserve and refusing to accept anything that contradicts it.